Om Sri Sai Ram. We'll start today's Satsang with Omkar and Gayatri. Dr. Sivakonesh, can you please do the opening prayers?
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Om Sri Sai Ram. On behalf of Sathya International Organization in Sri Lanka, I take pleasure in welcoming you all for the special online satsang, which will be conducted by Dr. Narendranath Reddy, Chairman Sathya International Organization. We thank you, Dr. Reddy, for kindly obliging to do this special satsang amidst your very busy schedule. I would also like to warmly welcome brothers and sisters from Nepal who have joined this special satsang today. Today's session will be of 90 minutes duration. First, we will have Dr. Reddy's talk and then followed by a question and answer session. Devotees are encouraged to send your questions through the question and answer chat box. We kindly request you to send your questions before the start of the question and answer session. Without taking much of your time, I would like to invite Dr. Jagannathan, Central Coordinator of Sri Lanka and Maldives, to introduce our Dr. Reddy.
Om Sri Sai Ram. Pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Lord. Loving Sai Ram to all you beautiful brothers and sisters of the Sai family. The fear and panic of the present pandemic and the lockdown and curfew inconveniences experienced by people in many countries are not of much concern to us Sai devotees, because Swami has always given us the assurance, why fear when I am here? However, in order to earn Swami's grace, it is necessary we remain focused on him. The positive consequences of this present crisis situation is that it has provided us with the required time and opportunity to intensify our spiritual sadhanas and to introspect deep to find answers to many uncertainties in our life. To help us in these spiritual sadhanas and to focus our minds on our beloved Bhagavan and his nectarine teachings, the SSIO Sri Lanka has organized many online activities which include a series of online satsangs. These online satsangs are immensely helping us to increase our knowledge and understanding of man, nature, and God, and the path which we need to follow to attain our goal. As already mentioned by Brother Mano, Today's satsang will be with Dr. Narendranath Reddy, MD, FACP, FACE. He is not a stranger to most of us, as we have seen him and heard him delivering very meaningful and eloquent talks at the Sai Kulvan Hall during the Prasanthi festivals and at international conferences. He is also known to us through his video talks delivered on the inner significance of and how we should observe the festivals which are celebrated by the Sai organizations world over. However, I am pleased and privileged to add a few more words about Dr. Narendranath Reddy for the benefit of those who wish to know him better. Dr. Narendranath Reddy serves as the chairman of the Sathya Sai International Organization, which has a huge voluntary network in more than 120 countries. He is also the chairman of the International Medical Committee, which provides healthcare to the needy in many countries of the world. Dr. Reddy is a medical doctor, a specialist in endocrinology. He graduated in medicine with honors from SV Medical College, Tirupati in India. He has been a consultant and a practicing internist endocrinologist in Southern California for 4 decades and is a fellow of the American College of Physicians and the American College of Endocrinologists. He received gold medals for outstanding academic achievement in pre-medical undergraduate program and was awarded the Physicians Recognition Award by the American Medical Association. Dr. Reddy was also awarded the Volunteer of the Year Award by Beverly Enterprises Organization for providing volunteer services to the elderly. 4 generations of Dr. Reddy's family has been followers of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, with Dr. Reddy himself having come to Bhagavan Baba at the age of 5. He and his family have been hosting a Sathya Sai center in their home for more than 30 years. Dr. Reddy has wide knowledge and deep understanding of not only Bhagavan's teachings, but also of the scriptures, the Vedas, and the epochs of Bhagavata, Mahabharata, and Ramayana. This becomes evident from the quotations he gives us during his talks. Dear brothers and sisters, I do not wish to steal any more of your time with Dr. Narendranath Reddy, and I have great pleasure inviting him to conduct the satsang. Stay home, stay safe, and stay happy. Jai Sai Ram.
Sarvarupadharam Shantam, Sarvanamadharam Shivam, Sachidanandam Advaitam, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. With love and gratitude, I offer my reverential pranams at the divine lotus feet of our dearest, loving, and omnipresent Lord, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, who is, as this beautiful verse says, Sarvarupadharam Shantam. He is embodiment of all forms. That means whether human, animal, plant forms, and Shantam. He is embodiment of peace. Sarvanamadharam Shivam. He is all names. And he is Shivam. He is embodiment of auspiciousness. Sachidanandam Advaitam. He is the non-dual reality, knowledge, existence, and bliss. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. He is the truthness, truth, goodness, and beauty. So that is what Swami is. Whenever we want to know who Swami is, just to think about it, and this is summarized in everything. He is all names, all forms. He is peace. He is auspiciousness. He is non-dual Sachidananda, and he is truth, goodness, and beauty. That is why the biography of Swami, as you read, it is called Satyam Shivam Sundaram. that aptly describes who Swami is. And a lot of you might have heard when Swami gives divine discourses, he usually used to start his discourse with this particular words. So, dear brothers and sisters, again loving Sai Ram to all of you. I am thankful to you, Dr. Jagannathan, for your kind words. And it is wonderful to hear that you're all involved in this online satsangs and how to keep in touch with Swami. So this is the opportunity Swami has given us as spiritual seekers to dive deep and go inwards. There is a beautiful thing in Lalita Sahasranamam, some of you might know, Antarmukha Samaradhya Bahirmukha Sudurlabha. So God cannot be go and attained by going outwards. He attained by going inwards by inner contemplation. That is why the beautiful compilation of Swami's teachings done by Professor Kasturi, the sadhana, the inward path. So this is the blessed opportunity for us given how we can intensify our spiritual practices, and hope all of you have received that this global sadhana program we started on April 1st with this 5-pronged approach. One is doing daily Sai Gayatri for 15 minutes, doing japa, that is repeating Swami's name, Om Sri Sai Ram, 108 times, and doing the meditation, Soham meditation or light meditation, and then reading these quotes of Swami. These are the precious gems which are culled from the treasures of Sai, and each one of them you should contemplate each day, and it really touches our hearts and takes us towards that goal. And finally, how to practice the sealing on desires and human values so that we revere, respect nature, which is the manifestation of God. Lord Krishna in Gita says beautifully the purpose of an avatar. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. And he adds, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. That means Lord Krishna is telling that I come, the omniscient, omnipresent, divine form, which is beyond name, attributes, and space and causation. I take a human form. Whenever there is a decline in the practice of dharma and there is increased adharma, I incarnate from age to age for the protection of the good and for the destruction of the evil. And we have witnessed that many times over the history, over thousands of years, when the demons were disturbing the sages, spoiling their tapas and austerities. Lord Sri Rama has come to establish Sathya and Dharma, truth and righteousness. When in the own family there was rivalry and fighting and hatred, Lord Krishna has come to establish Shanti and Prema, peace and love. And when the people were caught up in Vedic rituals and animal sacrifices, forgetting the real inner meaning of the scriptures, Lord Buddha came to teach man the path of love, compassion, and non-violence. And similarly, when the temples of worship became the places of business, Lord Jesus Christ came to teach man the path of love and sacrifice. Now in this present day, we're all caught up in this WWW, World Wide Web. What is that World Wide Web? It can be used for good purposes. Now we are using all this technology for sharing Swami's glory and Swami's Leelas. But most of the people are misusing it. As Swami says, we are all caught up in the World Wide Web, which is WWW. That means wealth, wealth, wealth. Like the earth goes around the sun, Swami said we are all humans are caught up from the dawn to dusk the pursuit of money, 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 greed. The dollar became the Almighty God. So in these times, the Lord has incarnated as Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba to teach us the same WWW work, which is selfless service, Karma Yoga, worship, which is adoration, or worship, which is Bhakti Yoga, love for God, and third is wisdom, the path of Jnana Yoga, path of self-inquiry. So he made it very simple. Instead of the complicated Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, they're all crystallized by the practice of the 5 human values: Sathya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, and Ahimsa. The truth, right conduct, peace, non-violence, and truth. So this is what the Lord has come to teach us. So we are the very blessed and fortunate. Swami himself said nobody can come to him unless he calls. So of the 7.7 billion people on this planet Earth, we are the most blessed and fortunate to be called by him to enjoy his beautiful form and his sweet divine name and his unparalleled nectarine divine leelas. He is, though he left the physical form, many of us around the world when I travel have seen and we have experienced, he continues to be with us, inside us, above us, guiding us, guarding us. He is our eternal companion. Let us all firmly and clearly have this remembering that he was with us, he is with us, and he will be with us forever. He is an eternal companion. So he always attracts us, brings us to his fold in his own unique way. So I want to share how Swami guides us, guards us, and protects us, takes care of us, our families. This happened about 20 years ago. My parents were living with us, both my father and mother, with the direction of Swami. They were living with us in Los Angeles, and we had the blessed opportunity to serve him till they passed away. So about 15 years ago, suddenly one day, my mother went into shock. That means her blood pressure was not detectable. She was unresponsive. So we called the ambulance. Unfortunately, they come immediately within few minutes. We take to a hospital, which is also 5 minutes away. And then she was in the emergency room, and there's no chance she would make it. So she had to be admitted in the critical care unit. We had 12 specialists. A lot of them are my friends. They happened to see her, and all of them felt that there is no chance she would make it. So intensely prayed to Swami. I sent a fax message to Bhagavan, and he was in Puttaparthi. And then, amazing grace. So within 7 days, to the astonishment of my friends and these doctors, she was discharged home completely hale and healthy. So then we were very happy, jubilant. Then I asked my mother, did you have a chance to thank Swami? She gave a wonderful answer. He is one of us. He is part of our family. He is my own father, mother, friend, and everything. You thank somebody outside. How do you thank somebody who is your very own? So I was not sure. Then when we went back after a few months, went to Prashanti Nilayam, I expressed gratitude to Swami for his protection. Then I made a comment to Swami because she could not come with us, that what my mother said. Swami said, that is the real good attitude. You should not think God is somewhere at a distance. Father, thou art in heaven. He is not only in heaven, he is on earth, he is everywhere, he is with us, around us. So you should have that conviction that he is with us. And you need to develop a relationship that he is our father, he is our mother, he is our friend, he is everything, he is all in all. That is what we should have. That is why one time Mrs. F.S. Subbulakshmi, Bharata Ratna, when she gave a talk, she said, Swami, I cannot give a talk. I can only sing. Then Swami said, commanded her to talk. And then she said that, you are my mother, you are my father, you are my friend, you are my everything. And Swami said, applauded her and said, this is the best talk. So Swami sees is Bhava Priya. So we all need to develop a relationship with the Lord. That is very important. So second, and another interestingly, I want to share, there are many experiences galore, but somebody requested to share. This is another interesting incident, very cute, that is life-saving. The second one is how Swami, like a loving mother, fulfills even our simple wishes. In 1994, me and my wife were blessed to be invited by Swami to be with him in the Kodaikanal for 3 weeks to spend time. We had a good time, morning to evening, and sometimes we could go out with him for picnic and other places. So one day Swami went to this garden along with the students and then went to a bougainvillea vine and just did pluck like that and took 2 plums. Brothers and sisters, it was not a plum tree, it was a bougainvillea vine, but Swami can do anything. He can make earth into sky, sky into earth. And he gave those 2 plums to 2 students. A passing thought went through me, I wish I also had the plums. But I didn't say anything. But Swami is Antaryami. He's the indweller. He knows our thoughts. So next day morning, when I got up from my sleep, next to my bed, on the nightstand, there were 2 plums. Amazing how, without even asking, he fulfills our even simple and silly desires. That is what I was touched by his motherly love. And we asked everybody who did put the plums. Nobody. It was Swami. So I had an opportunity to share this experience in front of Swami in Vrindavan, and Swami is cutely and nicely was smiling when he heard this story. He didn't claim, oh, I did it, I put it. That is the difference. Swami says God does everything for us and doesn't take the credit, but we do little things, but we take the credit. These kinds of miracles galore, and most of you on the call or everywhere around the world, we all have experienced, every one of us, every house, we experience these beautiful miracles of Swami. That is why the first book Howard Muffet wrote is Man of Miracles. But these miracles, in Swami's own words, are like mosquitoes on an elephant in his divine mission. He calls them his visiting cards. But we need to go forward. That's why Swami says, when you really want to take advantage from the grace he has given us, we need to dive deep into his teachings and practice them. Then you reach the goal of life, which is realizing our true divine nature. So Swami has given many formulas. Today I will touch on you one of them, which is Chamatkar, Samskar, Paropakar, and Sakshatkar. It is a 4-fold. Chamatkar, that means that is miracles. Samskar, so it should lead to transformation. Then it leads to Paropakar, service to others. And finally Sakshatkar, where you realize self-realization or liberation or moksha, whatever you call the ultimate goal of life. This is the sequence you do. Because Swami says we need to go forwards, don't be stuck. Most of us enjoy listening to Swami's Leelas. No doubt there is a beautiful sadhana by itself, listening to the Leelas of the Lord. As Dr. Jagannathan was telling, these online satsangs, reading the books of Swami's Leelas, it is a wonderful way to make us feel in tune with him, relive those moments and feel happy. But we need to go forward. We can't get stuck only in the Chamatkar level. So Swami gave a beautiful story for that. There was a woodcutter, poor man, woodcutter. He used to barely make his living. He has a big family selling the wood, firewood, and he was not able to make both ends meet. So then he went to a sage to ask for a mantra. The sage said, go forward. He was a little bit disappointed. He told his wife, this sage, I wanted him to bless me so that I can be more prosperous and rich. And he just says, go forward. The lady wife, as they say, wife is wisdom invited forever, WIFE. So she said, go forward means don't stop in the forest where you go, but go forward. Then he said, okay, follow the wife's advice. So he went forward, and then he went to next stage where there are sandalwood trees. So he was very happy. He cut the sandalwood. Sandalwood is, brings more money than the regular wood. So he sold and he was very happy. But the wife said, the sage didn't say just go to the sandalwood. He said, go forward. Why don't you go forward next day? Then he went forward. Then he found copper mines. So copper is more valuable. He sold it, happy. Then she says, no, don't stop. Go forward. Then you go to silver mines. So you make even more money. Then still go forward. Then gold mines makes. Then he was happy. What else you want more than gold? But she says, no, go forward. Finally, you find diamond mines where diamonds are there. That is the last treasure. So then he realized how we need to go forward. And Swami cutely said, die mind, die mind. So similarly, we all have to go on the spiritual journey where we start with these little miracles, beautiful protection from Swami, and he gives us health, wealth, prosperity. But finally, we should all go for what he came to give us, that is liberation itself, self-realization. Like this woodcutter went on going from wood, sandalwood, copper, silver, gold, and diamond mine. That is die mind, because mind is the one causes bondage and liberation. Manayeva manushyanam karanam bandhamochyo. So you need to take it towards God so that you are liberated. So next stage from chamatkar is samskar. Swami wants us to have transformation. There is plenty of information now. There is a big information explosion. We cannot keep up. So not only books and the electronic media, social media, everywhere we are bombarded. But more important, what gives us peace, joy, and happiness is not information, but transformation. What kind of transformation Swami expects? This is a big talk by itself, but I will summarize. Swami says, as his devotees or members of the organization, he wants us to have us hearts cool like moon, like a moon, cool. Always our heart should be cool. Minds should be pure like butter. That is why we sing this beautiful Chitta Chora Yashoda Ke Bal. That means God steals the hearts of the devotees which are pure. Pure minds, pure like butter. And speech sweet like honey. That means always talk softly, sweetly, and don't hurt. These are the requirements. And in this, Swami emphasized at our individual sadhana level, harmony of thought, word, and deed. This is very, very, very important. That says, Swami says, Manasekam, Vachasekam, Karmanyekam, Mahatmana. The real great soul is the one where his thought, word, and deed are in perfect harmony. And here, how to achieve this? Swami says the best way to achieve this transformation is the path of love. That is why the last World Conference, our theme was love is the source, love is the path, love is the goal. That is why Swami repeatedly said, God is love is God, live in love. He gave the beautiful example. The moon, if you want to see the moon, how do you see? Through the moonlight. Similarly, God, who is love, if you want to experience him, you can experience him only through love. What is this divine love? People get confused. Worldly love versus divine love. Swami beautifully said, what is divine love? Divine love is eternal, changeless. Whereas worldly love is ever changing. And divine love is unconditional, whereas worldly love is conditional. Divine love is selfless. There is no selfish agenda. Whereas worldly, it is selfish agenda. And divine love is pure, whereas worldly love is impure. So we need to develop this divine love, which is eternal, unconditional, selfless, and pure. So how do you develop this love? So Swami said, number one is you need to give high priority to God in our life. Number one priority should be God. If you have God, everything has value. It's Swami beautifully said, your bank balance is a zero, your family is a zero, your name and fame is a zero, your position is a zero. But you put one in front of it, it can become millions, billions, and trillions. Without one, any number of zeros is zero. So you put in front of all this number one, which is God, it gets value. That is why we need to give high priority to God in our life. That is why Swami said, this is the very name, Sai. If you want to have Sai with us, yes, Sai Baba, Swami first, yea, all others next, that I, little I, the ego, the last. Then we have that. So you need to give priority to God in life. Second thing is we need to be one-pointed. Whatever we want to achieve, one-pointed. Like Swami gave the example of Arjuna. So in another example, Swami gave the example of housefly and honeybee. You know, housefly sometimes goes and lands on the garbage. Sometimes goes and lands on nice, good, delicious dishes. So it jumps from one to another. Similarly, Swami says some of us devotees, sometimes you do the bhajan, satsang, and sometimes you go and waste your time in other things, gossip and other sensual pleasures. So there is like a housefly. But the honeybee, it will wants only the honey from the lotus. It would starve to death but doesn't want anything. Similarly, a real exemplary devotee would always want only God. He wants to hear about God, talk about God, see God, do God's work. That is the way we should have. We should have that one-pointedness and have that intensity. Another thing is we should have, when we have love for God, it should be love for love's sake. It should not be a business transaction. One time in Guru Purnima, Swami said, from today onwards, no Pad Namaskar, just you should pray for my love. People were disappointed. Then after diving deep, we'll know if you have God's love, you have everything. It doesn't need anything else. So we should all pray for God's love. That is what Swami gave a beautiful example for this of Gopikas, cowherd girls of Vrindavan. Because in life, a lot of us pray for just to remove the unfavorable circumstances in life, like we have ill health or business problems or other problems. You want to get rid of them. And you want to favorable situation. You want good health, prosperity, promotion in job, good family. This is usually the prayers are to get rid of the unwanted, and you want desirable one. And there are some people who are sincere seekers, they want liberation. But there is another group, the devotees, real bhaktas, they don't care anything. They don't want liberation, they want love for love's sake. That is called parabhakti. That itself is a goal. Love is the path, and the goal also is love. Swami gave the example of these gopikas. So one time these gopikas, they are the cowherd girls of Vrindavan. They were not scholarly, they didn't know much scriptures. So people didn't know how great devotees they are. So Lord Krishna wanted to show the people how great these devotees they are. So he told Narada, so Narada came to him. Then Lord Krishna said, I have lots of headache. So then sage Narada said, Swami, what can we do? I want the dust of the devotee, good devotees, to put on my head. Then it will go away. Then this sage Narada went all over. He asked so many saints, sages, good devotees, give me your dust of your feet. They said, oh, no way, we can't give. That is sacrilegious. Then we'll go into hell. So nobody gave. Then he came to this gopikas. They asked, can you give you the dust of your feet? They jumped with joy. They jumped all over and gave big bag full of dust. Go and give to Lord Krishna. Then sage Narada said, are you not afraid that you are doing this? It is sacrilegious and you are going to be in hell. You are giving your dust of your feet to put on the Lord's head. Then they said, we don't care. We don't mind living in hell forever. What all we are interested is, we want our beloved Lord Krishna to be without any headache. That kind of love for love's sake, no bargain, nothing, just you love your beloved. Similar kind of pure love we should develop for our Swami. That is how we get transformation. But why we are not able to get this love for love's sake? Swami said one of the major obstacles in nurturing love. Love is, Swami says, like a harvest of love. Why we are not developed that? Because there are weeds. The number one weed is finding faults with others. So Swami says, whenever you show one finger to others, three fingers to ourselves. There is a major disease, Swami says, finding faults with others. As long as we continue to find faults in others, criticize others, these weeds will not let the love harvest grow. So we need to get rid of these weeds, finding faults. The other weeds are these six enemies: kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. You know that? That is selfish desires, then anger, greed, jealousy, pride, and attachment. So all these things, they let not the harvest of love grow. So always our sadhana is to get rid of these negative qualities. Then how do you nurture the crop? What is the fertilizer you can put so that this love harvest grows? Two of the greatest powerful fertilizers, number one is japa, repetition of the divine name. That itself will take us across the ocean of samsara. Just repeating Om Sri Sai Ram, Om Sri Sai Ram, Om Sri Sai Ram, or Sat Sai Gayatri, or any other divine name which appeals to you, that will take. It has time-tested method which really nurtures love. This japa you can do so many ways. You can repeat the japa, verbal, or you can do likita japa. There is another called upamsu japa. That means your lips move, but nobody knows you are doing japa. There is another one called manasika japa. Just you do inside your mind. Nobody even knows you are thinking the thing. But ultimately, you should come to a stage called ajapa japa. Even without your knowing, whether you are walking, talking, sleeping, always this name goes on continuously going. The greatest example is Hanuman, Lord Hanuman, where every hair of his, every cell of his was repeating the name of Lord Rama. So this is one of the ways to put the fertilizer to have this love harvest grow. The another one is satsang. Satsang is very, very important for spiritual seekers. So have the greatest is to have the contact with the avatar, which we had, many of us. Next is holy people. Next best is to read the holy books. That is also satsang. Another is to have talk about Swami's glory, because satsang itself is the way to lead liberation. The beautiful Swami himself used to chant this composition of Adi Shankara. Satsangatve nisangatvam. What does satsang do? Nisangatvam. You get detachment. You won't be interested in all the unnecessary things, worldly things. Nisangatve nirmohatvam. Once you have detachment, your delusion, all that is gone. Nirmohatve nischalatatvam. Once your delusion is gone, you are equal-minded. Nischalatatve jivan mukti. Once you are that equal-minded state, that itself is liberation. When you are liberated while alive. That is the power of satsang. That is why today's quote actually refers to that. So when you really have nurtured the love like that, you will experience that equal-minded state. How do we know we have this love? How do you know we are transformed? Like the proof of rain is the wetness of the ground. Similarly, the proof that we are transformed, we have love, is establishing ourselves in that equanimity, that equal-mindedness, samatva. That is why today whether profit or loss, honor or dishonor, praise or blame, to have maintained that equal-minded state. That is equanimity. That is what the definition Swami gave for devotees. If you are devoted to me, in this classical letter which he wrote on May 25th, 1947, which every devotee should read, where he says, if you are my devotee, you should be established in this equanimity. That is why it is called samadhi. Samadhi means samadhi, equal-minded. So that is the transformation Swami wants us to have. So that is the second stage. That is samskar. Next, we go to paropkar. When you really love, Swami says that love should be expressed in action. That is seva, we call selfless service. That is how love is expressed. So Swami has himself shown by example. From his childhood, he always used to give, give, give. We give with both hands. Because Swami says, love is giving and forgiving. Self is getting and forgetting. So it is directly proportional. How do you know? No? The more selfless you are, the more love you have. The more selfish you are, that means you do not have love. So it is directly proportionate how selfless you are. You give your time, energy, money, resources for serving the Lord and the creation. That is the goal. And Swami himself is an example. He established educational institutions giving primary to secondary education to doctoral education completely free of cost, where not only the emphasis was not only on secular education, but the spiritual education and developing children with excellence in character. So he showed the integral education. He emphasized on that. And then he established medical institutions where we develop primary care to the secondary to the tertiary care. Even cardiac surgery, neurosurgery, orthopedic, everything is completely provided free of cost with love, compassion, and also showing the preventive health care. And he has established many humanitarian service projects providing food, shelter, water, and many facilities for millions of people. And inspired by Swami, we are all doing all over the world, as you heard, in more than 120 countries. So this Swami was an example of service. But what is the greatest gift? I know he gave us food, shelter, water, and education, health. But the greatest gift Swami gave for all the humanity is make us realize to our true nature that we are the embodiments of love. That is the gift which will really liberate us. That's the gift. That is why Swami said the purpose of the organization is to make us realize our innate divinity and make others realize the divinity. That is why para upakara means, I know we all, what is service? It is, yes, we all in our organization provide food to the needy people, shelter to the needy people, water to the needy people. This is all good. But talking about God, that itself is a service. When you make anybody you bring close to God, that is a service. Para upakara. Swami talked about this in Kodaikanal. New meaning. Service is, para means God, upa means near. Anybody you bring near to God, that is the greatest service. Even Shidi Baba says, anybody you introduce them to God, Swami, His work, then that is a great service. I can share you one of the wonderful stories. So this is Gopal Rao. He was a long-time devotee. He was the chairman of Andhra Bank. We know him. We used to call Gopal Rao Tata. So some of us know, and Swami celebrated unique his 100th birthday in the Sai Kulwant Hall. So which he doesn't so in a grand scale. And here this man served in Swami's mission. He was involved in Swami's many projects. He lived till 100, as I told you. But when he became old, still he had the passion to serve Swami. Then Swami knew this man cannot walk. Then he was begging Swami, Swami, what can I do? Then Swami said, go to the canteen and serve water. This man himself cannot go, so he used to go in a car with the help of a volunteer, and somebody has to hold his hand, serve the water. So he used to have that kind of longing to serve. But finally, even he couldn't do that. Then still he wants to serve Swami and the devotees. He said, pray, Swami, what can I do? Yes, Swami said, talk about my leelas. Talk about your experiences. Relive those experiences. When you talk about my experiences, that itself is a great service. So we should know service could be anything. A kind word you say, kind thought, loving thought, kind gesture. So service could be anything. And right now, the prayers we are doing for the welfare of humanity, Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu, that is also a service. But when we do service, Swami says very important, like love, I said, what nurtures. important thing is how you do the service, the attitude we have. We need to have the number one attitude of gratitude. We should always be grateful to Swami for giving us the opportunity, number one. Number two, when you serve somebody, don't think it is somebody else, it is God himself. That is why we don't call seva, we call it Narayana Seva. We are serving the God in the other person. Then you will get the benefit. You should see that you are really serving God. That is why it is called Narayana Seva. But when you are doing service, a lot of us get carried away. There are two greatest obstacles. However much service we do, if we don't get rid of these two things, Swami said, you cannot really derive benefit from selfless service. Like Swami gave the example, like a snake has two fangs full of poison. You remove the fangs, then snake cannot hurt you. Similarly, when we do service, the ego has two major fangs filled with poison. What is it? Ahankara and Mamakara. The ego, the pride that I am the doer, and Mamakara attached to the fruits of what we do. These are the greatest obstacles. As long as we have that, we cannot make any progress. So we should try to remember we get rid of these two major obstacles. And then Swami said, how do you know that you are really doing selfless service? The proof, like as I said, proof of rain is wetness of the ground. For love, equanimity. Proof of this selfless service is the peace, prashanti. You will experience that supreme unalloyed bliss, that unending peace. That is why it is not called shanti, but it is called prashanti. Peace that passeth understanding, as the Bible says. So you will have that supreme peace. So when we do service, wherever we are in the society, whichever country you are, we can bring that prashanti nilayam to our own countries, our own communities, our own homes, finally to our own heart. That is the kind of service we should do. Just a funny example I can give you how we are all get caught up in thinking we are the doer. This was a case which I shared in some of my talks. So there was a group of people put a drama in Prashant Nilayam. This was a group from America. So the drama was conducted. It was done beautifully. Swami liked it. Everybody liked it. It went well. But Swami was teaching a lesson. So he asked the person who is in charge of the drama. So drama was good. Who did the drama? So this man is a very humble devotee. Swami, you are the director and you are the producer. So that's good answer. Then Swami, he traps you. Then what are you? He said, I'm just an instrument, Swami. Then Swami quipped and said, I'm just an assistant, Swami. Assistant and instrument. Swami said, I don't need any assistant. That means you should have conviction. He is the doer, he is the instrument, and he is the goal. That is what in the service, ultimately, the one who is serving, the process of service, and the one served should become one, the unity of all. That is real selfless service. When we do that, then automatically the end results will come. What is that? Sakshatkar. Then we will realize who we are. We are the embodiments of love. As Swami says, we are the Divyatma Swarupulara. That is why always he addressed as only two things. He never called us Bhaktulara, Bhaktulam devotees. He never addressed as devotees. Usually, always his discourse is started Divya Atma Swarupulara, embodiments of divine Atma, or Prema Swarupulara, embodiments of love. That means he reminded us our true nature that we are Atma, or we are that divine life. That is what Swami wants us to realize. Then why are we not able to realize that, the truth? Swami said there are three obstacles. In Sanskrit, it is called Mala, Avarana, and Vikshepa. Beautiful example you can give is, you have a mirror. You want to see your reflection. There is dirt on all of the mirror. You can't see your reflection, right? You need to wipe out the dirt. So sometimes there is no dirt, but in the back, that lining, mercury lining is not there. You cannot see. So you need to have that lining. So you may have that and you may have no dirt. If somebody put some cloth or anything, then you cannot see your reflection. So similarly for us, we are not able to see our reflection because of the dirt, very lot of impurities we have, and we are always misidentified our true nature. We live in ignorance. That is why we are not able to see the truth. So how to get rid of the dirt, mala, the impurities? How do you clean? What kind of cleaner you need? Swami says, selfless service is the best cleaner. Chittasya suddhaye karmana. The karmana, the purpose of this selfless service is to get rid of the impurities. The mala is gone. Then you can see the reflection. Yes, you get rid of the impurities. But if you don't have the back lining, you cannot see. What is that? That is love. So you need to have that love. So first is selfless service, karma yoga. With that you get rid of the impurities. Then that vichepana, the distortion of the image, you get rid of by the mercurial lining of intense, pure divine love. And third, this avarana, the ignorance. How do you get rid of that? By self-inquiry. Who am I? Who am I? Swami says 3/4 of spirituality is self-inquiry. So this is the time when Swami is given us ample time. We need to go inwards, dive deep, and realize our true self. So I pray to Swami to take us along this spiritual journey. So I want to pray to Swami to bless us with dedication, devotion, discrimination, and determination, so that we love him and serve him till our last breath and have this moksha, liberation, self-realization in this very life by his grace. Thank you for the opportunity to share Swami's love and message with you. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. May all the worlds be happy. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Dr. Reddy, thank you so much. There are a few questions that have come that we have received. I will read the first question. Sai Ram, how can we increase our love for Swami by doing regular sadhana practice, overcoming laya vikshapa and obstacles created by mind?
So yes, this is a very important question. The same question was posed by Arjuna to Lord Krishna. He says, Lord, I can hold air in my hand. And he's a great archer. He has one point, only one time he aims arrow, it will go. But I'm not able to control my mind. It is agitated. I'm not able to have that one-pointed love. What can I do? Then Lord Krishna gives a beautiful answer which is applicable to all spiritual seekers for us. That is saying that asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam. He says, yes, my son, mahabahu means a strong armed one, a valiant one. He says, no doubt it is very difficult to control the mind because it is durnigraham chalam. It is always fickle. Like Swami says, monkey mind. So actually Swami says cutely, mind is bound. It is not only it is a monkey mind. This monkey mind is drunk with alcohol. You know what happens. Monkey mind, it's a monkey jumps and then it drank alcohol, then jumps more. On the top of it, it is a mad monkey. Then it even jumps more. And then somebody went and pinched it. So that is the state of our mind. So Arjuna says, durnigraham chalam, very difficult to control. So even Lord Krishna confirms that. Then he sees the solution. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena chu gruhyate. By two things, two mechanisms, all of us can control the mind, increase the love by constant practice. That is why we said we need to do spiritual practice till we reach the goal. That is why the famous Kathopanishad says, Uttishtata jagrata prapya varan nibodhita. We all have arisen from sleep. That is good. Awake, we are all now. But stop not till all these obstacles will go. We should not leave the goal which we have to reach. So we should always, till we reach the goal, we have to go on doing that. How? By constant practice. That means, that is why we said daily sadhana. How many lifetimes we thought we had this body, mind, intellect? You can't overnight get away from that. So we need to constantly practice. These are the standard practices Swami prescribed, the scriptures prescribed, and many faiths have prescribed. That is repetition of the name, doing the meditation, doing the service, doing the prayers, and study of the scriptures. All these are the constant practice. Second is, vairagya is very important. You may practice, but you don't have detachment. You still are attached to your job or family or possessions, bank balance, name, fame. You will never progress. Simultaneous to the practice, you need the detachment, abhyasa and vairagya. Swami gave a beautiful example. There was a man, so after the day's work, he was finished the work and he has to go to his village across the river. So he had to go on the boat. So he was tired at the end of the day, and then he went into the boat, and then he went on rowing the boat. He was so tired, he was rowing the boat. In the morning, he woke up because he was tired in the evening. He was still in the same place. He didn't go across. What happened? He realized that his boat is still anchored and he didn't release this anchor. Similarly, as long as our mind is still attached into these things, however much spiritual practices we do, we don't progress. So we need to get detached from the worldly attachments. That is very important. So that is where these two things go: vairagya, detachment from the worldly things, that we all, each one of us, know how much. And Swami is the embodiment of detachment. He will give all the attention to us in the interview room as if you're the only one existing. And you come out of that, it acts as if he never saw you or never knew you. So you love with the detachment. That is the secret of spiritual practice. So in answer, how do you intensify? Constant practice all the time. Sarvatra, sarvakaleshu, sarvatra harichintanam. Always, every place, you eat God, drink God, think God, walk God. Every moment of life, we need to think that. That is what Lord Krishna again says. Yat karoshi, yat ashnashi, yat juhoshi dadathyat, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushya adarpanam. Everything, whatever you are eating, drinking, sleeping, everything, dedicate. That means you are in tune with God. And second is, get detached from the sense objects. That is very important. That is the bondage for us. So if you don't do that vairagya, we have problem. That is one thing. And anything else, laya, vikshepa, obstacle created by mind, as yourself, all these are created by mind. And I gave already, Swami said 3 solutions. How do you do that? Mala, how do you clean it? By selfless service. That is chittasya suddhaye karmanaha. The purpose of selfless service is to get rid of our impurities from the mind. So how do you know we are doing service? By transformation of the heart. And second thing, how do you get the vikshepa? By developing pure divine love, bhakti marga. And how do you get rid of the avarana? By the jnana yoga, self-enquiry. So all these 3, again coming back to WWW, work, worship, and wisdom. You get rid of that through selfless service, get rid of the mala, and through worship you get rid of the vichepana and self-enquiry. That. So this is the answer to that question, Manu.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. The next question is, Saram uncle, why this kind of pandemic continue to happen all over the world violently, even though there are more and more prayers going on all over the world? This could be a vast devastation that would never happen. Is this the Kali Yuga devastation?
Okay, Sairam, yes. We all need to face the reality. That is true. This is a global crisis. At least in my lifetime, I never have seen. This is a major, not only the impacts on people's health, but also in their economic states where people are losing jobs and people are having financial troubles, and also social issues, emotional issues, anxiety, fear, and depression. Here, as spiritual seekers, we should have this clear understanding. Whatever happens, Swami, this is not my word, Swami said, whatever happens, happens by God's will, and that is for our good. So even Swami says, not even an ant will bite you without the will of Shiva, and not even a blade of grass will move without God's will. Not only our Hindu scripture, Swami says, even Quran says, without the will of Allah, not even a dry leaf, even a dry leaf won't fall from the tree without the will of Allah. Even in the Bible, Jesus, where he said, not even a hair will turn black or gray without the will of the Lord. So everything is the plan of the Lord. We should see what to learn. By the way, this is not the end of Kali Yuga. Swami didn't talk. Swami says golden age is coming. We should have faith in his words. Yes, golden age is coming, but before that, all these negativities need to be washed out. Let me see. I have seen so much camaraderie, so much love. People are now thinking priority. What is the purpose of life? Even people who are hostile, now they are, I'm seeing them becoming mellowed out, going inwards. What is the purpose? So what can I do for others? How can I be more loving? So all the positive things are coming out. As Swami says, when they had churning of the ocean, first ocean came, all the poison came, negative thing. After it washed out, the amruta, nectar came. Similarly, all these negative things will go away, and finally we all will have the good times coming. That is my faith and hope and conviction. As Swami says, this too shall pass. Actually, here also I want to tell a nice story what Swami said. Once somebody was, actually it was Dharmaraja going in the exile to the forest. He wanted a mantra from Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna wrote in a thing and said, when times crisis, you are helpless, despair, you don't know what to do, then open this mantra. So he kept it, and one time he was so much sad and despair and distress, he opened that thing in that crisis. And what does he say? Not a big mantra. He says, Idi eppudu undadu. This too shall pass. So let us think, these are all passing cloud. What all our duty is, continue to have that calmness, strength and courage. Have absolute faith in Swami. Swami said, you trust him, you hold on to him, he will take us across. He has given assurance, my devotees, wherever they are, in the sky or earth, in a forest or in water, wherever they are, I will take care of them. He gave that assurance. So we should have absolute faith that we are the Lord of the universe. We came to his lotus feet. You hold on to him. There is no need to fear. That is why one of the signs, how do you know we love Swami, trust in Swami, is always be cheerful, always be calm, always be enthusiastic. Loving is one of the quotes you can read, and the 30 quotes is, sign of spirituality is always be enthusiastic, smiling, and have hope. So that is why no end for Kali Yuga, golden age is coming. We'll continue to pray, and God knows. We are not going to tell God what to do. Whatever happens, it is happening by his will. He knows when to end the thing, but he will listen to the prayers. Swami says prayer is the most effective means to avoid the calamities. So let us continue our intense prayers and things will change.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. The next question is, Om Sri Sai Ram. As told by many young adults, spiritualism in their heart does not remain long. It becomes like a fashion of clothes. Since young adults are surrounded by fellows of different thoughts as they go to college, workplace, and other area of society, how can they continue the spiritualism in day-to-day life practically?
Yes, that is true what they are facing, particularly young adults and children and teenagers now. They are bombarded with so many distractions and sense enjoyments, which takes us away from the direction to go towards the Lord. That is why Swami beautifully said, But that is the age actually to start. Start early, drive slowly, and reach safely. So we need to start early. Don't start when you are 80 years old. Swami says sadhana, then you cannot see well, hear well, walk well. So when you are, and I want to congratulate the young adults who are joined. They are the blessed, most blessed and fortunate, having come to Swami's fold at such an early age. What is the solution? Swami said three things: bend the body, mend the senses, and the mind. So that is the way. So what is bend the body? So always try to be busy, active, doing something instead of just being quiet. Always, because, and mend the senses, because senses are very powerful when you are a youth person. So you need to use those senses, because what do the senses want to do? The ears, they want to hear some rock music or something which is sensational music. Instead of that, use it to hear devotional songs. And eyes, you want to see movies or anything the senses want to have. So instead of that, see, have darshan of Swami, or go to beautiful nature, ocean, mountains, which is nothing but a representation of God. So just like that, every sense you saturate with the divinity, then they won't bother you. And finally, end the mind. That means try to, by practice, what I told, practice and vairagya, you do that. But for young adults, it is very difficult. They need to balance a lot. They need to work for their career, for their livelihood. Then they have to support their family, take care of the family, and still be part of the organization. So really admire them for the dedication, for them part of the mission and serve. But they need to balance it. There is the whole thing is balancing the life. But always keep in mind have the priority. But they may say, oh, but we can do by ourselves. But where are so many distracting influences? Let me tell you, the best Swami said is, keep yourself very busy. Don't go to this company, ABC of life. Another thing is, avoid bad company. That is why I said repeatedly, Satsang is the way. So get in touch with other young adults who are like you, who love God, who want to serve in the society. Then that will reinforce your habits. If you are join the others, one bad apple will spoil everything. That is why Swami said in the university, the students, people used to come, Swami, they are very tired. He wants them to be tired at the end of the morning. They have Suprabhatam, they go to gym, then the prayers, then they come to darshan, they go to classes, then the exam, then evening again darshan. So he says the mind, this lazy mind is devil's workshop. So constantly you need to keep the mind engaged. For that, do good work. Think good, do good, be good. This is the way to God. Swami. Very simple. Swami's teaching are very profound, very simple, and very practical. So one is repetition of the name, and another is think God all the time and just do his work, and have good company of other young adults who are of similar bent. Don't try to associate with people who have a different interest. That is the way the world is. But you want to have, like you are a scientist, you want to progress in your scientific thing, you get associated with other scientists who are also doing research in the same field. So anything is sportsmen, they get other sportsmen, they get, so that how they improve their sports talent. Similarly, in spiritual things, if you want to progress, be associated with people, like-minded people who have love for God, who want to serve God. That is the only way to reinforce your faith. Otherwise, slowly it gets diluted and you get distracted.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. The next question is, even though we are trying to focus on Swami, as youths, we get plenty of thoughts coming in, especially when meditating. How can we control that?
That is a very nice question, because this is exact question. I remember this happened about 30 years ago. I was Swami in the interview room. One young girl said, Swami, she was about 10 years old. She said, Swami, I want to control my mind. I want to meditate. I can't do that. What should I do? Swami, just be still and do. She was not happy. So she was sincere in her question. So Swami gave a beautiful example. So how do you control my? He said, because all the negative thoughts come to her. She said, particularly when I'm quiet, that is the time negative thoughts come. She said, Swami said, when you're learning cycling, what happens? You learn cycle, then you fall. Again, so you go on getting there, falling. What do you do constantly? You practice, then a day will come when you cycle, you don't need even to hold the handle. Without holding, you can just cycle. Same thing with swimming. In the beginning, you will do that, you will try to drown, then it will come. So Swami said, constantly practice so that mind won't go. And second thing, Swami gave many answers. Swami gave another, you are in your house. In front of your house, a truckload full of garbage goes. My God, you feel dirty smell. Then after a while, the truckload full of nice jasmine flowers goes. Nice, beautiful smell. So you are both are, don't get involved, just you are a witness. Similarly, these negative things and positive things, thoughts come, just be a witness, watch them. Don't get embroiled in them. Don't get entangled in them. Just be a witness. That is another thing Swami has suggested. Just be a witness. There is another thing, another Swami said is, don't try to catch the mind. Watch the mind. So I gave an example of a little baby, little child. It is mischievous child. It is going all over here, there, everywhere. You want to catch it, it will be more, it will run away here and there. So the best way to do this, just be still, watch it. Okay, let it go everywhere. Then after a while it gets tired and come back to you. Similarly, another thing is watchful attitude. And then finally, Swami is the most powerful thing is japa. So first, as I said, is constant practice, giving the example of cycle. Second thing is, Swami says, be a witness, watch that good and bad thoughts coming. Just be a witness, just not to get involved. Then another thing Swami said is doing this japa. So he gave the example, there was a guy, he prayed to the Lord, Lord, I want money, I want good family, so give me a person who can fulfill. Then the Lord said, I'm going to give this kind of ghost, which will, whatever you want, it will fulfill. But one thing, let me warn you, if you don't give enough work, it will eat you up. You should keep constantly be. They said, that is not a big deal. I need so many things. I can keep this thing very busy. Then it has, I want a nice palatial house. Yeah, it is done. Within 2 minutes done. Oh, I want a good, plenty of food, varieties of food. In 2 minutes it's done. My God. Then he didn't know, so then he wanted a nice garden. Like that, anything he asks, it is done. So this guy is now scared. If he doesn't keep this ghost busy, then it will eat him up. So then he was internally praying what to do. Then the Lord showed in a way, just give a stick, a pole, and tell it go up and then come down. Go up and come down. Go on doing it, because you go on doing is when you need some work, then you call. So then you go on keeping up and down, up and down. Similarly, whenever we have work, we do the work as a doctor, lawyer, or an accountant, engineer, IT. Go on doing the work. But when you don't have, because there is a time it will ghost, it will eat you up, it will trouble your mind. Then repeat the name. That is one Swami gave the example. So go up and down. That is, go on saying Om Sri Sai Ram, Om Sri Sai Ram, Sai Gayatri. The mind keeps occupied. So best is to keep the mind occupied with good thoughts, and particularly the sweet name of the Lord. Then we have no problem at all. That is the answer, how to keep the mind controlled, the various techniques, watching and being a witness and constant practice and japa. These are the ways to have it. But finally, you should have, very important is have that vairagya.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. The next question is, how can we know that our sadhana is loved by God or not?
So, who is God is our inner conscience. Swami is I am the indweller, I am Hudayavasi. So your conscience itself will know that you are progressing or not. And here also, Swami said, don't try to see how much you progress, verify. Our duty is constantly practice. That is why three things important: patience, perseverance, and purity. So it's constantly you practice that, automatically we will realize divinity. I already gave two examples. Really we are progressing in spiritual path or not. Two main features. One is whether we have that peace that passeth understanding. Not that peace, sometimes we are peaceful, other time again we are restless. You should have that peace in all situations. That is why it is called Prashanti, as Swami calls Prashanti Nilayam, abode of supreme peace, a peace that doesn't get disturbed by the external conditions. That is one thing. So you are really progressing, you will have peace. Second thing is, you will have that equanimity. You will feel that stage of equal-mindedness in all situations. And third, most important is, you will be happy all the time. Because happiness is union with God. This is another time when I was with Swami one time, because I prayed to Swami, Swami, you do so much for us, take care of our family, guide me in my work, and give me opportunity to serve. How can I pay my gratitude to you? What can I do to you? So I thought Swami will give me a big project. In turn, Swami says, can you do one thing for me? I said, yes, Swami. Be happy, be happy, be happy. So he wants all the devotees, all of us to be happy, because he says, bliss is my food. So we need to practice that itself like a sadhana. Always be happy, always be equal-minded, always be peaceful. If we are not that, that means still we need to continue. Like how do you know you have to, a surgeon, you want to do a surgical training, you need to do more cases, go on practicing, then you become an expert. Same thing, this is go on practicing. That is why practice in Bhagavad Gita, sadhana itself called Abhyasa Yoga. That is constantly practice. That is why Swami says patience, perseverance, and purity. These are the things very important for a spiritual seeker. So you need to constantly practice.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. The next question is meditation important for our spiritual seeking?
Yes. So in spirituality, that is why we have somebody, one of the persons from Estonia, because this sadhana program is global sadhana going all over the world. They asked, can we practice only one code? Do we have to do all the 30 codes? I said, we gave 30 codes because it covers various aspects of sadhana, both like karma marga, selfless service, bhakti marga, path of devotion, jnana marga. So it covers various, and whatever suits you, you need to do. Not, you don't need to do everything. So there, Swami, another thing, example, so he used to sell in Bhagavad Gita, there are 700 shlokas. Swami says you don't need to know everything. Take one and practice. He gave the example in a matchbox. There are so many 700 sticks. To light a lamp, you don't need all the 700 sticks. So one good matchstick which is dry and can ignite, that is enough. If you have 700 sticks which are all damp and moist, even though they are 700, no use. Similarly, take one of them and intensely practice, then you will have the results. So I got distracted. What was the full question? So I was talking about this. What was the question? Can you repeat that again? Manu, can you repeat the question again? The one you said right now.
Is it important to do meditation?
Okay, good. Yeah, now coming back to the meditation. So that is why we have various methods to do. Yes, because there are many paths and each one likes one. This dhyana, that is why Swami himself has written in his kindness Dhyana Vahini, how to do meditation. There are so many types of meditation. Meditation is very important. Swami says, that is why in the meditation he says 3 stages: concentration, contemplation, and meditation. So you can jump into that first. That is why it is also called 3 stages. All of you should read that. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. That means you focus on one thought for 12 seconds, that becomes dharana. 12 times 12, that becomes dhyana, piece of meditation. Only that means 144 seconds, 2 minutes, 24 seconds. And then 12 times, then you become samadhi. So coming back to this, yes, meditation is a proven technique to know the truth. But in the meditation, there are so many types of meditation. One is Swami himself describes that. One is Soham meditation, the meditation on the breath. Soham, he says, taking in and out. Soham means I am that, I am that. I am realizing I am divine. That is what Soham. Another meditation we popularized is Jyoti meditation, focusing on the light. And Swami gave a beautiful discourse, and we put the audio clip in our Satsang International Organization website. Please listen and practice how Swami says you take the light, let it go through every limb of your body, finally let it go out, go to your family, friends, and even the people whom you don't like. Finally, let the whole universe be permeated by the love and light. And there are other types of meditation called Japa Sahita Dhyana. We sent you a video clip about Sai Gayatri. When you are repeating Sai Gayatri, Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhime Tanna Sarva Prachodhyat, you can also see Swami. That is called Japa Sahita Dhyana. This is another technique where you contemplate on the Lord and also at the same time you see Him. You have a picture of God, at the same time Japa. So there are various ways. There are Vipassana meditation, so many types. But Swami said these two are much easier and can take us to good results. That is Soham meditation and light meditation. In summary, meditation is time-tested, important, spiritual practice to reach the truth. But there are other sadhanas. Japa itself by itself is a sadhana. Service by itself is a sadhana. Self-inquiry by itself is sadhana. Whatever appeals to our heart, that is the path we have to take. It is like a buffet. Whatever you like, you take it. Here, there are many ways to reach the Lord. Many paths all lead to the same goal.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. Next question is, Sairam sir, could you please explain the chant of Omkar in which the three states of wake, dream, and deep sleep is passed through? And what is Turiya?
Okay, so in Om, that is why Omkar is very powerful. It is called Pranava Upasana. So that is why Lord Krishna in Gita says, just by chanting Om, and particularly in the last breath you chant Om, then he assures you are merged one with God. This is called Pranavopasana. You want to know the more detail, there is a thing called Mandukya Upanishad, where the whole thing is about this Omkar. And there is a wonderful commentary on Mandukya Upanishad called Mandukya Karika, by the great Gaudapada. He was the grand teacher of Adi Shankara. How powerful, because we have three stages. We all go through that every day. It is very obvious. We are wakeful, then we go to, once we go to sleep, we go to dream sleep, which is called REM sleep in scientific language. Then we go to deep sleep. And then one which goes beyond that is the Turiya stage. So most of us go through this. First is wakeful, dream, and deep sleep. But Turiya is something beyond, where you feel that bliss. That is why in the morning, even though if you sleep, you didn't do anything in the sleep. Oh, I had a good sleep. I feel refreshed. Because you are touched with the divinity where you don't have any thought process. Because in dream sleep also you have thoughts, other stage. But this is the stage where Turiya, which is equivalent to God. So this is the stage. That is why there is a famous chant by Adi Shankara, Nidra Samadhi Sthiti. Just when you go into the deep sleep, it is almost equivalent to Samadhi. But the difference is this, when you go into sleep, you go foolish or ignorant, and you wake up, still you are ignorant. But when you go into Samadhi, you go ignorant. When you come out of the Samadhi stage, real Samadhi, you come enlightened. So the thing is, this Turiya stage is beyond this. Okay, I can tell you how. Swami says we all go through the thing. One time I was Swami, and Swami said, this whole thing is a dream. Then I said, Swami said, this is what you are in the night you have is night dream, and daytime what we have is daydream. So the whole thing is a dream. The whole life is a dream. And Swami said, life is a dream, realize it. Then I said, Swami, that means in the wakeful state, dream stage, sleeping stage is only this illusion. So this is all dream. So then Swami, I said, you are also a dream. Then Swami says, no, I am there in all the stages. Even we, that real I, that is what I am I, Swami says, that I is there in the wakeful stage, in the dream, sleep and Turiya stage. But this other body, mind, intellect disappears. So your mind disappears in the Turiya stage. So that is what this Pranava Upasana is very, very important. That's why how you chant, and it's people who have attained the goal just by repeating Om. That is why we are happy. Our Om Sri Sai Ram, when we chant, it has all the components. It has Om, which is Pranava mantra, and Sri, which is a seed mantra, which gives auspiciousness, Sai, which is Divine Mother, and Rama mantra, which is combination of both Ashtachari and Panchachari. That is why Om Sri Sai Ram becomes very powerful. But Om by itself is good because it is universal mantra. If people who are Vaishnavites, Om Sri Rama, they can chant, and people who are Om Namah Shivaya, even Shaivas do that. Om is beyond all traditions. It is the highest. It is Advaitins. They chant Om, who don't believe in a God with form. They think God is Nirakara, Nirguna, that is beyond name and form. So this Om is a time-tested spiritual practice, Pranavapasana, where we should go beyond the thing. That is why he said, when you say Ah, U, Ma, that is the wakeful, dream and deep sleep stage, that silence in between Om, after you chant, that is Turiya stage. Before next Om, Om, and finish in next Om, that stage, that is why that silence you watch, that is the Turiya stage. So this is Swami himself talked about it. You can verify, but if you want to do exhaustively, you want to know, you go to Mandukya Upanishad and Mandukya Karika. That will give you exhaustive information about Pranava and Pranava Upasana.
On behalf of devotees from Nepal and Sri Lanka, we thank you, Dr. Reddy, for taking time off your busy schedule to conduct this satsang, which we all enjoyed. We also wish to take this opportunity to thank Uncle Rohan Balasurya, member of Prashanti Council and co-chair of 95 Community Project, Dr. Anupam Ganguly, head of International Media Committee and director Sathya Sai World Foundation, Dr. Venkat Sadanan, head of International IT Committee, Brother Krishna Srinivasan, head of International Content Team, Brother Amar Kaki, our zone chair, and Dr. Jagannathan, our center coordinator, for enabling us and assisting us to arrange this all-important satsang. Thank you, dear brothers and sisters, for joining this satsang. May our beloved Swami bless you all. We now will have our closing prayers. Dr. Sivakonesh, can you lead us to the closing prayers? Thank you, Sairam.
Shastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Bholo Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba Ji ki Jai.